First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next here at postwrestling.com. You found us in whatever podcast app you're listening to us right now. And it's Tuesday, October 14th, 10 o'clock p.m.
And we are live.
Yes.
On youtube.com/postwrestling. Yes, 9:59 even. This is exciting.
For some people,
this is a treat.
someone's watching on the CW like, wait a second, wait, how are they live already? We're from the future.
We are from the future.
From the future. We're from a country called Canada, where Netflix decided to drop the canned edition of NXT right at 8 o'clock tonight. They put out the whole thing and they cut out the picture-in-picture, a lot of the ads, and it ended earlier for those who chose to watch or who always watch on Netflix. But for the cable subscribers, the CW peeps out there, I guess it's just ending right now.
I remember this would happen with things like Game of Thrones and Succession because we have Crave over here. But people watching on the actual like linear channel would be having the commercial break. So everyone would be finishing and find out who got killed in Game of Thrones before everyone else. And yes, we found out Tatum Paxley is the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship before anyone. Right. This was a treat, though. I was so confused because I realized it was taped, or at least like certain elements were very much obviously taped from watching it. But I started about 7 minutes after 10. And then I'm looking and I'm like, why is it saying there's like 26 minutes left of this show? And then realized, they've just dumped it all in one go with no break. So it was quite pleasant watching it tonight like that.
Yeah, it's fun. We've kind of discussed it's fun watching wrestling when there's not so many ads and everything. I mean, it's what pays the bills, but it is a little refreshing. Again, I feel like anyone who's what are they, boomers who use cable or people who live at home, or I don't know, people who just still pay for cable. I guess they had to watch the old fashioned way. I'm sure there's still obviously these Nielsen ratings, right? People still watch through cable.
Well, there's not Nielsen ratings anymore. That's the whole thing. It's big data and someone. Yeah.
So like in today's age, I don't know, like I'm someone who I pay for like streaming services and whatnot, but I don't have traditional cable. So something like this doesn't faze me anymore. It's kind of weird. Like we're in the age of streaming, right? Like all these popular shows, they're on streaming services over here and everything. So it's the way it is with wrestling. So welcome any VPNers, Americans who in another way, shape or form wish they were Canadian. They got to watch NXT on time tonight. But yes, welcome to Up Next. It's Tuesday. We're here at Post Wrestling. We are Braden and Davie. We are your NXT friends. Are we still allowed to use that joke if they come back?
It's more relevant than ever. I think people might finally start getting it. But
have you ever listened to Up Next and wondered, hey, those guys are biting that joke? Or some questions we get sometimes, what's the deal with the friends joke? We've gotten that quite a few times, but now it's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back. We don't know what form, the in-betweeners. Is it going to be season 4? Is it going to be a third movie? Is it going to be both of those things? But I can't wait. There's even discussion of it maybe being a live show. That sounds strange, but yeah, I'm super excited. If you're not familiar with the show, The In-Betweeners, get yourself familiar. It's fantastic, and it looks like it's going to be coming back next year. So super pumped about that. We have spoken about this a long time ago. One of our very early reviews was the first In-Betweeners movie we talked about.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely a fun show. It's like the best way to describe it for people who aren't familiar, maybe like North Americans, like British super bad, but a show, like a series first, and then there's 2 movies, and they're all pretty raunchy, pretty fun, but time has passed, like our American Pies and whatnot, that I wonder how they would come back to do something like that. So interesting. You know, I hope all the Canadians out there listening had a happy Thanksgiving, but I just saw someone I'd never think I'd see at a live show, but for my birthday, my girlfriend got me Adam Sandler tickets.
Nice.
And I had no idea this guy was touring for a while. He's been doing like arenas and pretty big concerts for the past few years since the pandemic. So it was a bit of a treat to see him do a live show. And I kept wondering, like, what even is a live show from someone like him all these years later? But he was phenomenal. But the best joke at the Adam Sandler show is they tell you that Adam Sandler's on at 7:30, when in reality, Rob Schneider's on at 7:30. So they tricked me into to go see Rob Schneider bring up the 51st state and getting booed, saying we're triggered easily, us Canadians. And people are like, we didn't pay for you. So then Kevin Nealon comes out, and then Kevin James comes out. It was basically an Adam Sandler versus Royal Rumble live.
Right.
At a thing, but he packed the house more than when we went to wrestling, when we went to Hans. Like, it was completely
nice,
yammed for the Sandman. So I would totally go see an In-Betweeners live show, because again, it makes me think, what even these other comedians
I
stand up, right?
I'd be very curious. I mean, all 4 of them are stage actors as well, I believe. So I think they'd be good, but it's just that, like, the show doesn't really lend itself to that. So, but I would be curious. I'm definitely excited to see what happens with the In-Betweeners, and go and find it out if you haven't already. But Saturday was packed. There was the Jays game. There was Adam Sandler in town. Lots going on in the city. Unfortunately, not the best start to this series against the Mariners. 0-2 so far, but now we're what, 3 away we've got to do in a row now, which is, it's going to be tough, but we can do it. They're just making it dramatic for us. We're wrestling fans. We need the story, right? We need the story and the drama.
This was Sunday night, which was, everyone here had the Monday off. So like, you had the Jays complete sellout at the Rogers Center, the Sky Dome, which is thousands of people, plus Adam Sandler right down the street sold out. I've never seen so many Boston Bruins jerseys in Toronto in my entire life, because of the Happy Gilmore connection. But I felt like that's like 2-time in the city. But the city was jumping, and then the score came in, and I felt like the confidence came out. So how long till we start hearing the Jays lose? Very soon. Hopefully not. We said the other day, we did a show, like, low key, as long as we beat the Yankees, we did it, guys. Yeah. It's fine. We don't need to win the whole thing. That's selfish. We're Canadian. We're polite. But we beat America's team. We beat the Yanks with the BJs. So congrats. That's what I'll still celebrate. But we still have a chance while we're recording this. But
if you're finding us here for the first time, we are Poisonrana. We do the NXT review for Post Wrestling every Tuesday night. And we also have our own podcast network. So if you search for Poisonrana, wherever you find your podcast, you'll find our free feed. You can also search for us on YouTube, Poisonrana Pod. And we do a show every Sunday talking about everything that's going on in the world of wrestling. Last Sunday, we talked all about Crown Jewel, a show that we were actually pleasantly surprised with, and especially that Cena AJ match that we spoke a lot about. So that was a great show. We also talk about AEW on there. We covered last week's Dynamite and Collision. And we also have a Patreon on top of that, where we've got lots going on. Last week, we just recorded The Champ Is Here, episode 12, featuring Gareth Hodgson from Grapple. And on this show, we talked about the 12th world title reign of John Cena, leading up to that triple threat Hell in a Cell match. We also spoke about Bret Hart, Kevin Nash, and a whole lot of other stuff going around in that weird 2011 time.
Yeah, we didn't even plan this, but we had Grapple Gareth, Bretro, Mr. Bretro himself, who joined us to talk about Bret Hart's last match.
Yes.
On this podcast. So this journey we've been going through every John Cena title reign has been quite the hefty journey, and it's taking us a lot longer and a lot more work to do it, but we've been doing it and it's been a ton of fun. So you get all those episodes in there. We have put some up again. If you've never checked out any of our stuff, Poison Rana in any podcast or social media feed, plus patreon.com/Poisonrana. We've reviewed the 2001 Invasion pay-per-view just a week or so ago as well. And then this week, I mean, we have a ton of stuff coming up for spooky season. We love October, and we put it to tadpoles here at Poison Rana in the Facebook group, and you guys voted. We put up some classic reviews of scary movies, Halloween time to review. And it looks like finally, after years of discussing it, we will be talking about 2000s. Is it 2000?
2000, yes. The 25th anniversary.
Wow, 25th anniversary of what some say is possibly one of the greatest movies ever made. Hollow Man. Yeah, Hollow Man. Bet you weren't thinking I was going to say that, did you?
The Kevin Bacon classic. Yes.
Right.
I brought this up to someone the other day, and they didn't know what I was talking about for a second, and then they went, "Oh my god, is that the film with Kevin Bacon?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they went, "Fucking love that movie. I remember that." So
great.
For some reason, this has been I don't know if an ongoing joke or a bit or something, but we both have some nostalgia for this movie, and you voted in your thousands, and you chose Hollow Man from the year 2000 for us to talk about to kick off spooky season.
We also will be looking at, as you guys voted in our classic horror tadpole there, you guys voted for our first ever Hitchcock review. So in a few weeks, we'll be reviewing Psycho. And I know everyone might be watching the new Netflix show about Ed, and that kind of ties into Psycho a bit there too. And then we will be reviewing a retro WCW Halloween Havoc as well. So many shows this month. Definitely looking forward to Psycho. I mean, that's the one that started it all, right? We've done Halloween. Obviously, we're going to be doing a freebie Halloween Resurrection this year. Every year we go through them, but this is Psycho's the one, right?
I believe Psycho turns 65 this year.
Wow.
Or is it even older than that? 1960 it came out, so turning 65
Crazy.
This year.
First
Psycho.
movie to show of toilet flushing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No, super looking forward to this. I'm going to continue. I'll try and finish the Ed Gein series before we review this movie as well. But super excited about that. We're going to do an Up Yours as well, as you mentioned, a Halloween Havoc. You can still vote. I haven't closed the polls for that one yet.
Davey doesn't want to do 2000.
Let's see what's in the lead. No. We can't close the polls quite yet.
Stop the polls. Stop the count.
We'll reveal on Poison Rana this Sunday what Halloween Havoc show will be reviewed.
Is the Ed Gein show good? Is it scary? I'm kind of scared to freak out.
I've just watched the first episode so far, but I liked it. It's Ryan Murphy, so guy behind like American Horror Story and the that O.J. Simpson American Crime Story, as well as the Dahmer show, the Jeffrey Dahmer show that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's why I'm not rushing. Like I watched that, and it was kind of uncomfortable. Like I guess that was the point of it. I love true crime, and I love true crime documentaries. Shout out 2020, but when I watched the Dahmer one, it made me feel a little uneasy, and that's why I haven't necessarily jumped to watch this. But you were saying,
I mean, Ed Gein was a pretty fucked up person, so it would probably make you feel pretty uncomfortable. But Charlie Hunnam, from what I've seen so far, is excellent. The dude from Sons of Anarchy, just almost unrecognizable in this role and very, very creepy. And when you see sort of pictures and stuff of the real Ed Gein, it's like, whoa, yeah, there's similarities there for sure.
And this is what Psycho is like based on, essentially.
Yeah, so Psycho, like Buffalo Bill from Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, very much based on this. Texas Chainsaw Massacre as well.
Yeah, that's not, it sounds like the guy like eats people's faces and shit. I don't know.
Well, he makes suits out of their skin,
Ugh.
stitches clothes together, and
I watched
lives with his dead mum.
I watched the John Candy documentary, and that just made me feel all warm and fuzzy. Yeah, nice. So maybe the complete. I would recommend it for a eye bleach, a cleanser after watching that, maybe. But
so yeah. If you want to hear any of these reviews, our retro NXT reviews, our retro wrestling reviews, movie reviews, etc., head on over to patreon.com/PoisonRana. It's only $5.
Yeah, we have tons of shows. We have tons of free shows on the free feed. Like we said, we did a whole Crown Jewel show. We talked about Kota Ibushi. We cover all the other wrestling in the world, not just NXT here on Tuesdays, but we like it here on Tuesdays. We'll be here every Tuesday on Post Wrestling. But this upcoming week is... I was going to say Full Gear, but that's not the right one. We're going to be dreaming. We're going to be Wrestle Dreaming on Saturday. Well, maybe you'll be watching Saturday, but join us. And I think maybe safe to say if you're working Saturday night, Davey, 3 p.m. on Sunday.
I'm at a wedding, so absolutely 3 p.m. at the earliest. Yeah.
So 3 p.m. on Sunday, catch us live. We're gonna go through Wrestle Dream on Sunday live, Poisonrana live. Audio will be up on the free feed after that. So catch us on Sunday live at 3 Eastern and hang out with us while we chat about everything going on this weekend with the Wrestle Dream. Very excited for some of these matches, but I know we talked about Crown Jewel. We talked about a lot of stuff before we jump into NXT. There is some, like, I guess NXT adjacent stuff that happened. That meaning TNA. Did they finally get you to watch a TNA show? The answer was yes. I tuned in to Bound for Glory, and it had a lot of NXT people featured, but even more so important, the Hardy Boys. The Dudleys, one last time in a one last table match.
One last table.
Even though the rules are you have to put two people in a row through a table. So really
two last
table match. Yeah. So I know this was a big show for TNA, like one of their biggest audiences ever, especially as of late. A lot of eyes on this one with the NXT stuff. The main event being Trick Williams and Mike Santana. Did you get a chance to watch it? Anything that?
I pretty much watched the whole show except for the Tessa Blanchard match.
I did the same thing, oddly enough.
I started on when was it? It was Sunday night. I ended up working Sunday night because of the game, and it was crazy busy. So I started watching it quite late in the evening and caught like the Battle Royal, which I think was the first sign of TNA is going to TNA when they had the joint winners of Kazarian and Dolph Ziggler. The Call Your Shot, it's essentially like, it's kind of like their Money in the Bank briefcase for TNA. And they had the first time two winners for this thing. And it's Kaz and it's Nick Nemeth. The crowd fucking hated this. And so that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to bed. I'm sure I'll have better stuff tomorrow to watch with Leon Slater and Javon Evans and the Hardys match and the Mike Santana Trick Williams match. There was stuff I enjoyed on this show, but I actually thought the Hardcore War was quite fun between those teams. But man, just that Battle Royal, the end, kind of set the tone, I thought, for things to come.
Yeah, I felt so similar. I tune in and I watch this, and it's like they're really pushing, like, hey, this is an intergender battle royal, which is you don't see that in WWE, not even in AEW, right? So there was some pretty impressive people wrestling, and I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. And then that finished, I was like, yep, TNA, gonna TNA for sure. And there was stuff throughout the night that I was like, okay, cool. But then I was there for those main three matches, right? Like, so I'll say Javon Evans, Leon Slater, both these guys are 21 years old. And this is already what we were calling a dream match, which is crazy. Just imagine what these two guys are going to do in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. So this was awesome. But then again, TNA gonna TNA, and they just shit all, not even once. No, that would be too little, too late. They have to shit on the match two times,
man.
Dr. Davey. They got to shit on this match twice. First, they stop the match and say a title match, an X Division title match at a pay-per-view only has a 20-minute time limit. Okay, but we're going to give them 5 more minutes. Okay, they're going to wrestle for 2 more minutes. Okay, Dark State interrupts and the match is thrown out. Just like, completely ruined not only ruined the match, but like completely ruined the vibe. The crowd are chanting, fuck these guys. It's not effective heel heat. It's a smart way to get heel heat, but it's scrappy do heat. It's X-Pac heat. It's go away.
It's booking heat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you're not necessarily like, I can't say like, I'm not aware of that many Dark State fans. Let's put it that way. But really, this isn't booking. This isn't booing Dark State. This is booing, why the fuck are you doing this?
Yes.
Like, why can't you just give us a classic match? You've built it as this is going to be a classic. The first time to like, these are going to be generational stars, right? Moving forwards. Like, this rivalry could go on forever. This is the first time this is happening. The crowd were pumped for it. Like, and I got to say, I thought production was a lot better for TNA and it looked great. Like, the 7,000 people, it felt like a hot show. People were into it. And this had the reaction at the beginning of the match. They really wanted to see this match. They were excited, them just standing opposite each other, about to go. And then to end it this way, just everyone was so pissed off with this. And as I said, like, they're doing it in a way to think of the heat Dark State will get. But it's just like it's a fuck this company heat that just goes to them instead. It's, you know what I mean? Was ridiculous. I laughed. I was like, how are you? I literally laughed. Who in the room is going like, you know what would be a great idea if we didn't have a finish to this? Like, it doesn't matter. Either of these guys could have won. You've been trading wins and losses with TNA and NXT anyway. Like, it's not like this is one of your top main roster protected guys. This is Javon loses a lot in NXT. We love him. He's great. It doesn't matter. Like, he'll have his time and his moment. He's 21. He doesn't need to win all the time right now. Like, you could have given Leon Slater this win, no problem, and we could have a match again down the line in the future. But to do this finish, it was so stupid.
Yeah, I really love the match. Got to shout out Leon Slater, Javon Evans. We'll be waiting for that rematch. We'll be waiting till they're a tag team again or something. But there was some great action in that match. Like, they were really going for it. The match, even still, I guess, match of the night for me with the fuck finish. But
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was pretty. I just head down, laughed when the lights went out. I instantly knew what it was going to be. And it's just so ridiculous that they would, I don't know, what would just kind of ruin it. Like, that definitely, I'd say, is worth checking out. But they killed that vibe so quickly that it's like, oh, wow. All right. Well, that was pretty cool. The match. I mean, so hopefully we get to see more of it. I really love Leon Slater, man. He's really, I can't believe both these guys, 21 years old. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So then we had the final two tables, the Dudleys and the Hardys, a match I've been talking about for a long time. I've been saying they're all somewhat active. Why not do this match? I was calling for it. Tony Khan booked the match years ago, but instead we got it here in TNA in Lowell, and the Dudleys are retiring. They go out. They left the boots.
They left their
in the
boots
ring.
In the ring. Yeah.
You know, this was kind of what I thought it was going to be. These guys are all like, what, 50 plus? Maybe Jeff might not be 50 yet, but like they're all around their 50s, even maybe older. Like, right? And two of my favorite tag teams of all time, and nothing will ever change that. But they went out there. They still hit some crazy big spots. Jeff, he might not be able to jump as far off the ladder as he used to, but he can still jump. How do you learn to fall off a 20-foot ladder? Jeff still can do it. But it was the ending that was similar to the last match, where it's like, oh, you know what? This is all right. This is pretty fun. And then that hokey ending that completely took, I don't know if I'm on my own here. I haven't necessarily looked this up. Well, but Bubba Ray, like, bless him, but what was that finish? Was this like a Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels wannabe moment here? Because it was so weird. Like, this guy just stops wrestling and goes, all right, hit me with the move. But like, his acting, just standing there, one of my least favorite moments of the year was the ending of this match. And Bubba talks a lot of shit about wrestling lately, and then he goes out and ends his career with this. I was like,
I think, man, I don't know if you're aware, but he was hyping up this match on, obviously, like on
Yeah.
Busted Open Radio and stuff, but was essentially promising you as the audience, you were going to cry when you watch this. We're going to give you moments. We're going to give you emotional moments. And he kept building it up and you even had it in the video, I think, the video package before he mentions about like, oh, this is going to be emotional and that. And it really felt like Bubba was going for his like Oscar moment, right? And he was trying a I'm sorry, I love you kind of thing. The thing is, it's right. His partner's gone. He's now surrounded. He's left. He knows he's lost. So he's going to sacrifice himself. Like Aleister Black to Adam Cole in his like 10th last match in AEW. Remember that? That was weird. But just the emotion wasn't there. And they were pushing for it, but we're like, okay. And then it's not a spectacular spot. It's just a double
choke slam,
spinebuster choke slam kind of thing through the table. It's not one of Jeff's crazy dives to end things off. It's just that, and you go, oh, okay,
yeah.
But you could see, and with the post match, and I think people maybe gave the respect once the boots were coming off and all that, and like knew what they were going for, but it just felt very try hard to me, and the moment didn't necessarily feel earned, if you know what I mean.
Again, I love these two teams. Like, absolutely. You don't know how many times I've watched TLC 2. It's probably like the goated match for me. It is. And, you know, Bubba saying, oh, trust me, you're going to cry. You're going to cry when you watch this. We needed Edge and Christian to get to that next level of emotion. It just felt so bizarre. It felt so, I hate to say it, it felt fake. He's just standing there like his acting was so brutal. And it took me completely out of the match and kind of ruined it for me. I still was really into it. Again, I'm throwing my finger guns up. I'm bobbing my head the whole time. But then
it was just an anticlimax and hokey and just
so silly. I was like, oh, okay. And then, like you said, they took the boots off. They all hug and everything. And I was like, good for you guys. You did one last match. And the match was decent, but the finish was so silly.
Was fine, but I felt they could have tried to do like more callbacks or something. It was fine. They didn't embarrass themselves. I'll put it that way. Like it was a fair match to go out on. They didn't look terrible in there. Like Bubba has had a pretty good career these last 10 or so years with reinventing himself a bit with the Bully Ray and all that, and he's been doing stuff on the indies and still wrestling fairly regularly. So these guys deserve their moment, but it didn't necessarily click. And I think especially so close to Cena AJ, like that literally just happened the day before, that did get me emotional and did give me the warm and fuzzies. This was nowhere near that.
Yeah, like the Hardys are still going to wrestle, and like that would have been a good double retirement for both these teams. But I don't know. I still wanted to see it, so it still was interesting. It's just two different teams wearing two different styles of camo in their match. That was fun. We also had the main event.
Yes,
TNA's Trick NA. The TNA champ defending against Mike Santana. He's been holding the belt hostage, but finally in his hometown of in Lowell, Massachusetts. I can't pronounce Massachusetts. Mike Santana finally taking back the TNA title to TNA, his first major world heavyweight title. Santana, he bet on himself, and now he's won some gold. This was pretty fun. You know, Trick was playing a pretty perfect heel, just getting his ass whooped, getting in the face of the daughter smacking Trick. I thought was a highlight as well. But I think we kind of knew like this has to happen. This should have happened already before. But I'm happy that this guy was someone who's like, I don't want to be in a tag team anymore. I want to see what else I can do. And it took some time, but it paid off. And I think every time, you know, whether you're like us, you saw him on NXT or maybe you watched him in AEW, you always thought like, something is there with this guy for sure. He's got an attitude, a charisma, and something. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction for TNA, finally betting on like one of their own guys here. He's been there for a while, but this is a pretty fun main event. And I think it sent the crowd home happy with a big final like win.
I was just laughing when they teased both Ziggler and Kazarian.
Yes.
Cash in, and I was like, they're gonna
TNA,
fucking do it.
Gonna TNA.
The show's gonna end, and it's not Santana as champion. It's both Kaz and Nick Nemeth
holding it up.
Yeah, as everyone's booing. I was so sure that's the way they were gonna go. Yeah, I thought the main was fine. It was trick matches are very like I'm sometimes very lukewarm on them. But he's had some good stuff, and I thought this was a bit in the middle for me. It was absolutely the right result. There were some cool moments in it. The match didn't blow me away itself, but yeah, I mean, overall, I had some fun watching this show. Like it did its job, right? Like there was enough draws on that card that made us want to give this show a go, and I thought it looked good, and the crowd were packed, and they were vocal and stuff, and what I found interesting was, we question how involved WWE are with TNA, and obviously WWE tremendously helped TNA. TNA weren't getting 7,000 people in this building without this WWE deal that's been going on.
Right. Yeah.
But it's stuff like you said, like the intergender stuff, we wouldn't get on a WWE show. Now, AAA, we saw Triple Mania, and we're used to Triple Mania having like a mask versus hair match where it's a bloodbath, and we didn't get any of those violent matches in the AAA shows we've seen since WWE's acquired them. TNA still doing intergender, still doing like there were a couple of headshots in the show even and stuff like that. Made me think, okay, well, WWE are definitely not telling them that they can't do that thing. So I found that pretty interesting watching as well.
Yeah, like I really wanted to check out those 3 matches. I definitely skipped some of the stuff, but I did check out that Battle Royal. I did check out the main matches, skip the Tessa match, but it was fun. It was definitely not maybe one of the better ones, but I feel like when I skimmed through a show the last time, there was the last one, it was in New York. They had some good stuff in that as well, but I think it's a step in the right direction. I think having the Hardy Boys, you see just on social media, the net they still have of fans, like in so many generations. What's funny is we'll see later as we talk about NXT in a second, Javon, Leon, and the Hardy Boys, and they're acting so like, oh, whoa, it's the Hardy Boys. They're 21. When the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys were doing they weren't alive yet.
They were kids when the Hardys returned at WrestleMania 33 in Orlando.
They were kids through
that was their, and that was their like retirement tour, like going back home, like that return,
So it's crazy because it feels like our generation, like Hardy Boys is a huge instrumental part of getting me into wrestling, because it's like, well, look at these guys. They're wearing those dumb baggy pants, the finger guns, and they're jumping off shit. They're crazy. It's still crazy that they have the net, and I think they've really helped TNA as a whole and stuff. And you heard commentary. Who is it? Tom, right? Who's that boy?
Who's great?
Headphone
Tom
Tom.
Hannifin's great. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He is fantastic. And he was definitely him. And who's the other guy? Who's the wrestler? NXT guy?
Matt
Aiden English. That's right.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, like every time we do a show, the Hardy Boys line after the show is insane, but they stay and they still sign everything. And like, it's crazy. They know they fucked up and hurt our feelings as fans too many times, that they're still going though today. And I think they still look good, but yeah. I hope that TNA can continue this like wave of momentum. I wouldn't say it was one of my favorite shows of the year, but I still had fun from the stuff that I watched. At the end of the day, I was still irked at the things I don't like about TNA. I still don't like about TNA. Like it's the non-finishes, just the whole list of other things there that still gives me like the ick, or like, dare I say, like, does this matter kind of thing? Like in my brain.
I just think when any company does this, I'm just thinking like, why? What made you think this would be a good idea? And I know I then listened to a Bruce Pritchard on his podcast like defend it and tell us why we're wrong, that it's great and it's great heat. But no, you're wrong. I don't know anyone who watches this and goes, that was great. You know what? You know what would make this match even better? If there was a non-finish to it and just people interfered and just beat him up. That would make this match so much better, right? No one's ever thinking that.
Hopefully we get that rematch. Hopefully we get Javon and Leon versus the Hardys maybe sometime. We don't have NXT is kind of perfect for TNA. It's like this. We're not quite sure of the land of misfit toys over here too. Of like what's happening. We're getting the speed title, all the TNA stuff. It's all over the place. So yeah, kind of thumbs in the middle from us, I think, for TNA Bound for Glory, but still a fun show. Did you happen to check out King of Pro Wrestling?
No, I was fully planning to, and the kitchen guy at work completely spoiled it. So I can't be bothered now. I'm not watching a 30-minute match. I know the result for. So no. Did you happen to check it out?
It was fantastic. Yeah, would absolutely recommend. Way better than their last one. I think the last one I remember it had like a weird finish where Zach got rocked or something like that. Where this one was a bit more of a solid, complete thing. And you know the result. I guess I'm not spoiling anything, but Takeshita's my guy. So like seeing that happen, him hopefully main eventing the Tokyo Dome this year is mental. Like I don't know what the direction is. They had Goto come out.
So he's facing Goto next, right? And then at some point, and then it'll be a Tokyo Dome match, I guess.
Okay, like New Japan's doing the same thing all these companies are doing. New Japan's doing the Tanahashi retirement tour.
Yep.
And apparently that's working off real well. Like I know it's October, but there is a chance that this is the most attended Wrestle Kingdom in a long time. There's a chance it could potentially get to like a full house, which they haven't done in a long time. And that's crazy. And like them giving the belt to Takeshita, I think it's such a great move. I think he's awesome, but I'm wondering what that match is. And I'm wondering if there's a chance it's Okada rematch, but I don't know if that necessarily makes sense. But boy, do I want to see that one. Would be so jelly to not go to that one, but wow. Yeah, that would be good. So like New Japan's still kind of in this weird phase, but the tickets for Wrestle Kingdom have been moving for this Tanahashi retirement match. So interesting to go see that. But yeah, Takeshita Zach was awesome, was a banger. Really hyped about Takeshita, and I'm really hyped about Takeshita and Okada going first. Really excited for them this Sunday or this Saturday, but like that should be the Full Gear match, and that should be absolutely crazy. So IWGP champ versus whatever champ Okada is. That's going to be nuts. So definitely looking forward to that.
Awesome. Did you catch any of Raw yesterday?
I watched I saw there was a big angle at the end of Raw.
Yeah.
So I put that on before watching NXT tonight. So the vision isn't so clear. I guess Seth didn't have the vision. He didn't see that one coming. What happened?
So CM Punk won the #1 contenders match. So he's the next challenger, supposedly for Seth Rollins. And they all surround the ring and they beat up everyone. And then Bron Breakker lays out Seth with a spear, drags him into the corner. Bronson Reed hits the tsunami. And then they essentially get Heyman to endorse them and be on their side. It then comes out after that Seth is legit injured. It seems from the Cody match. I think
it's that
headbutt spot, because I noticed him like clutching his shoulder after. And so they've done this angle to write him off. But I mean, obviously the injury stuff sucks. But I think long term, this is for the better. I think we've been saying about this group, what hasn't been working is Seth, really. And Braun and Bronson, like giving them, like Bronson obviously had a crazy weekend beating Roman, first guy since Cody. And Bron Breakker, you know he's going to be the guy in the future. So I think it really kind of hot shots that in a good way. And when Seth eventually comes back, like hopefully he can have a bit of a refresh. You know, he's come back probably more of a tweener or like an anti-hero kind of guy, trying to take out the guys who took him out and maybe get away from the stupid suits and the stupid catchphrases and stuff, and hopefully tries to reinvent him a bit. And sometimes distance makes the heart grow fonder and all that kind of stuff. So I think overall it was a pretty great angle, and it makes me more interested than what they were doing beforehand.
Yeah, like I really liked that match with Cody, and I know we talked about it on Sunday on Poisonrana Live. We were like, hey, that match was awesome. He doesn't usually do that flying Van Sethinator headbutt thing, but it looked awesome. He was pulling out some new stuff, and then of course it comes out that could potentially be the move, because you did see him like, my arm, and it's like, oh no, I thought he was just good at selling, which I'm sure he is. But yeah, that's so unfortunate. I kind of, it was cool that they did the credits, and then Braun in the corner, and then he turns around and does it. I think like they have to do it because they're gonna have to, I guess, vacate this title or something. So I guess it was the only thing that makes sense. But it's kind of weird because I was like, that match was really good. Seth won, and that's where it's like, if he lost, that would have made complete total sense for them to just railroad him.
I think Seth cheated. Seth used the watch to win.
Yeah, he did.
So I think that you could, which I imagine this was, I don't think this was the plan. I think they've done this because of the injury, and they fast forwarded a bit. But I think that's exactly what they should run with, is you couldn't do it on your own. Like you said for us to not come out, but then you cheated anyway to win. And therefore, why are we following you? And I think that could be a good thing they can like sit on. And they did build it up quite nicely throughout the show. Like just, Seth really laying it on, like how proud he is of them, and they're the future, and they're the future, but they're not the present. And even down to like him making Braun do the tweak in the ring. Like you could see little things that were niggling at them throughout the show. So yeah, I think that's the way they should play it. With Seth didn't win it clean.
Yeah, that's true. Like I would imagine maybe they vacate. You can't just do the match if he's
hurt,
so
right? What do you? I mean, the problem is now is this CM Punk Seth Rollins feud has to end eventually, right? And it's just going to be prolonged until Seth's back. But do you just go Seth versus LA Knight for the title, seeing that Jey Uso got pinned and LA Knight's held these pinfalls over Seth?
Wait, sorry, who? Seth, sorry, Punk versus LA Knight?
So it's Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso in the number one contenders match, and Punk pinned Jey. And LA Knight has pins over Seth. So I'd say that is probably the match you do for the title.
Right. Okay.
Saturday
so
night's main event or whatever.
Yeah, Punk gets the title then.
Fuck it, give it to LA.
I would too, but I feel like they would probably just put that back on Punk there. But yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for Seth because I really like that match, and I think the Vision stuff has been pretty dull, and this is a step in a different direction. So hopefully with some time off, hopefully it's not that bad of an injury. Injuries in wrestling fucking up the plans, but yeah, we'll see. I like we were talking about it. Like I thought that show was pretty good, and it sucks that they had to go this way, but we'll see. Because then where do you go? Braun, CM Punk down the line? Like who else do we have?
Yeah, they would. I think that's got to be and Bronson, like both of getting big wins.
Well, does Brock come back?
It does. I think Brock is going for Cody. I think that'll be a match towards the end of the year. But it's, we were talking about the War Games match as well, where it was going to be the Vision versus that. That's completely blown open now with this. I'd find it more interesting if LA Knight won this title. I think there's a few more, like CM Punk should be on the chase for this thing. And I don't know, it feels Punk winning it at a Saturday night's main event in October.
Salt Lake City.
Yeah, it doesn't feel particularly big. And
LA Knight is still popular, and I feel like he could easily be refreshed if you maybe turn him heel.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right? Like that could be something that's like, hey, wait, like this guy's been kicking ass for a while and gotten so over, and he still is. Like, I think that would be something refreshing. So that's probably not what they're gonna do, but we'll see. That would be great. LA Knight is a heel.
As you said, you can definitely, I'd say Trick Williams and Obafemi are ready to call up pretty soon as well.
Obafemi for sure.
We keep on saying about Ethan Page as well is more than ready to come up. So, yeah, there's a few things you can do. As I said, injuries suck, and like wish Seth a speedy recovery and all that. But it does make things interesting because things are going to be shaken up a bit, and I'm not necessarily against that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see where we go with that.
And we will get into NXT, but
never.
Speaking of injuries, Ridge Holland has been released. Currently, out
no,
right now. But
take my life, not my Ridge.
Maybe not released, but not being renewed. But he is gone, and it's a little bit like the Kylie Ray thing, where it's kind of shitty that being released while he's injured, but I believe they are paying for all that stuff.
Okay. Like, that's like, hey, Ridge, why don't you go over to TNA and wrestle Moose? And then he gets hurt, and then it's like, also, hey, Ridge, you're fired.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that sucks so bad.
It's kind of shitty, but they've tried with this guy for a while, and he hasn't particularly connected. He had a main roster run. He's had a run in NXT. He's been in Evolve now in TNA. Like it's not completely surprising that he's gone.
I'm hoping this guy's okay. Injuries, that's always, this guy's had a few, obviously, and like losing your job while injured, again, wrestling for a TNA thing, I'm sure that's gotta suck all different ways for him. And I'm sure as a person, that's awful. He put out some social media saying like, I still got to provide for my family, etc. His daughter, right? As he always said, he's got to provide for his daughter, and Thea, who reminds him of her daughter.
My daughter.
But like, yeah, so like all the power to the dude, Toronto Wolfpack for life, but I could not stand watching him wrestle. So I'm like, I don't know if he's going to continue to go. He could easily fit into TNA as their big Haas guys, but they tried so many things with him, and whether he was injuring people or he was getting injured, like maybe it just wasn't meant to be in WWE. So like we were, dare I say, punished from watching. I've watched way too much of his stuff, and like, again, bless him. Sure, he was a great dude, but like I did not like what he had in WWE. So I'm sure he can continue wrestling and make a career out of it. Hopefully this injury isn't too bad, but all the power to Ridge the Fridge, because that means we don't get to hear that theme anymore.
His theme was pretty good. Yeah.
His theme song was pretty good.
That was the other thing. Raw and SmackDown, everyone's getting their old themes back, which is
sign of the times. That what are they called? What's Daft Rebel?
Yeah, Def Rebel are the current ones. Well, it was CFOs are the ones we like.
So they're getting rid of Def Rebel then.
Well, they've it's just been recently. Like Asuka's got her old theme back. Kyrie on Monday had a new theme, our old theme back. Street Profits on Friday came out to their old theme. Nakamura came out to his old theme.
Bring him back.
Yeah, good. It makes so much of a difference.
Absolutely.
Bailey still had a shitty one, but yeah.
So yeah, pour one out for Ridge Holland. Some of you may be listening and being like, guys, you haven't talked about some other things that we should be pouring one out. We did go live on Sunday, as I said. We did talk about Wes Lee being not renewed here. I still say just released. Being released from WWE NXT. We were pretty blindsided by that. We talked all about that and some of the other stuff. The WWE ID Evolve. There's some people gone from there as well. The WWE ID program. I guess some of those indie fed people were right. Like, oh, we don't trust that too much. So we did talk all about that. And the Wes thing is crazy. Like, I do got to repeat that on this show. Like, we've talked and sung his praises. He's been thrown things with his partner being fired, and then the solo push, and then crazy injuries. And I don't know what happened. I don't know the full story, but I think that is a complete mess up not having Wesley be on the main roster like a year ago, 2 years ago, even. So all the power to Wesley. And I know that it looks like he will be continuing wrestling. I don't know if TNA is something he'll still be on NXT, I guess, but we did go talk about that. But he was a big one. We talked about him for a lot through the years on this one. It's just like he's just gone. It's like, oh, that sucks. So, yeah.
Well, shall we get into some NXT?
Nah, I don't feel like it anymore. Let's call it there.
Good night,
Calling
guys.
it there.
Have a good one.
All right. Well, let's talk about some NXT from Tuesday, October 14th. We're going to the PC down in Florida. And this is, like we said, a pre-taped episode. I guess some people, the crew were away down under. So they pre-taped this last week. And for those on Netflix, we got to watch it without ads and commercials. It was kind of nice. We got a recap of the showdown last week between NXT versus TNA. And of course, Mike Santana winning back the TNA title at Bound for Glory. But we start tonight's NXT with the NXT champion, Ricky Saint, who makes his way to the ring. He talks about Trick Williams and how he lost finally at Bound for Glory to Mike Santana. He's proud of Santana. He says that, but Trick is he's like he folds under pressure. And Trick, we all saw you got your ass whooped, and we saw that there was some tensions with Trick and Rick last week. Trick and Rick, and he says, "I'm not over what happened, and I think you want a piece of me, and now you don't have TNA title, so you're not tied up with that, and I'm calling you out." Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams, Halloween Havoc for the NXT title. And this is when Trick appears on the screen. He's not there. He says, well, he calls him Pretty Ricky. He then says that, which is an indie wrestler, Pretty Ricky, in the Ontario indie wrestling scene. Shout out Pretty Ricky. But here's Pretty Ricky Saints. And he says, Ricky, you've been following my footsteps, but my size 15 are too big for you, dog. And you've been grinding your whole life to get here when Trick Williams got the VIP pass. I got here and did things before you, and you're mad about it. And I would love to face you and be a three-time NXT champion, but we're going to do that on my time. Let's talk about it. So then the video ends, and Ricky gets a little mad and fired up, says, you're not even like big enough to come down here and talk to me. Like, we'll see about that. I offered you a match, and you're like not even giving me an answer. Okay.
It was kind of weird because Ricky was like, let's do this match at Halloween Havoc. Trick essentially said, no, we'll do this match when I want to do this match.
Yeah.
And then right after, Vic Joseph is like, wow, that's huge. Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams at Halloween Havoc. But the line was also, Trick goes, let's talk about it. And Ricky finishes it. It's like, yeah, you want to play that way? Well, yes, let's talk about it. And then Vic goes, doesn't look like Ricky Saints wants to talk about it. It's like, no, he literally just said he wants to talk about it. But I felt this, I forgot this was a tape show to start with, but until this, because it very much felt like Ricky Saints was chatting to a video of Trick Williams that was recorded way before. Like, it just felt weird, and especially no mention of Trick dropping the TNA championship at all as well. It was as if that hasn't happened. So yeah, it was a little odd, and I felt a little bit of a weird way to get to this match that we thought we were getting anyway.
So, I mean, we are. So it is the match for Halloween Havoc, but he's like, I'm not going to accept that, but we'll talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. We'll see. Yeah, but the match is official, sort of. We go backstage. Javon Evans and Leon Slater, they're talking about how they had an awesome match. They said that they talk about how they're very upset about how Dark State interfered and how the match ended. And they're saying that even though that happened, the match was a classic. I love that they're both 21-year-olds. So, they're just goofing off and they're acting as if they're 21-year-olds, but except one of them's American and one of them's British. So you get a great, Javon's North Carolina, and then Leon Slater somewhere in the UK, right?
He's from Bradford. Yeah.
Because my affinity for the word, not just femme, but still.
Yeah.
I like when Leon's like, yo, that match was lit still, dog. And then, Javon, like the slang here I enjoyed from Leon Slater. And they're talking about their match. They say they're really excited to one day do it again when the Hardy Boys come in and they say that Dark State attacked you to get to us. They know that, Javon, you're from North Carolina, and Leon, that we've taken you under our wing. So that attack was simply to get to us. I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's why they attacked them. And says that Dark State have initiated their rematch. I guess there's rematch clauses still in NXT. For Halloween Havoc, it will be Dark State versus the Hardys. And Javon and Leon start geeking out like, oh, we love you guys. And no matter what, we got your back. If you need some help, we're here for you. So the Hardys are like, oh, thank you very much. So I imagine we get some sort of 4-man tag match in the next week or so before with these two teams.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I said I think this should be the tag match, these four against each other. And I thought that was the way they were going here. Like they cost you, but you should have a shot at these. And then no, we're just going back to Dark State, where I imagine, unfortunately, Dark State get their win back and win those.
Oh, that would suck. Like, wouldn't you just do?
I think we're getting it though.
Like these two, we don't have any other teams, so it doesn't matter. So like tonight we will have a number 1 contenders match, but it also ends in a non-finish. So I don't know. The tag division is a sad state for NXT, and I feel like Javon and Leon versus the Hardys would be a huge draw for a PLE match. Like that would be great, but you could be right about the Dark State. Ain't nobody safe. That's what they say about Dark State. Don't you know that? Get used to it. NXT Anonymous. Have we seen one of these in a while? I feel like
it's been a little bit, hasn't it?
The creeper gimmick.
Yeah.
GTV. What was this? This is someone's. We don't know who this is. They're anonymous.
We'll never
and they're
know.
watching Kalani in the locker room. Pretty suspicious. Pretty weird. And it's Kalani when she's met by Jordan Grace, and they're talking. And Kalani's kind of gloating about being knockout champion. And Grace is like, hey, don't get too cocky. Like, I'm the one that made that kind of possible. They start to get bicker, and they say that they'll both see each other tonight in the Battle Royal, because tonight is the number 1 contenders match for the NXT Women's Championship Battle Royal. And Grace and Kalani are both in it. You know what I found funny is Kalani is the TNA Women's Champion. Yet she's like, hey, I'm going to be in the Battle Royal to win the NXT Women's Championship.
Why not? There's so many double champs at the moment. We just saw the Hardys. They're double champs. Why not?
I guess so. So those two will meet in that Battle Royal. But we go to our next match. It's another TNA versus NXT battle a week later from the showdown. Josh Briggs and his Smoking Skull taking on Matt Cardona. Oh, sorry. The complete Matt Cardona. Wow.
Always
Vic
ready.
Joseph's, yeah, he's always ready. Vic Joseph said almost a decade since he's wrestled in an NXT ring.
In NXT? Yeah, that makes sense.
What would have that been? Would have been the Hype Riders.
I can't
Mojo?
really think of him in NXT. We haven't covered him on What's
he's
Next.
done. Yeah, he comes down and joins Mojo Rawley.
That's on the main. No, that's on the main roster.
Is it?
Yeah, SmackDown.
I thought it was on NXT. So what the fuck?
I mean, they might have come down for a match, but yeah, I'll have to do some digging. But I believe them. But yeah,
like it hasn't been 10 years since WWE.
This says first match in 5 years. On what? Sorry, what's going on?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to do some digging here. Yeah,
I mean, this is Matt Cardona's first.
Yes,
WWE
first ever. Yeah,
because he's Matt Cardona. I'll get it out of the way. Booker T was on one tonight, but oh my God, did I get a laugh out of Matt Cardona. Was it when he was coming out? People don't call Matt the king of the underground for nothing. And Vic is like, yeah, well, actually, they don't call him at all that, Book. He's known as the Deathmatch King and the Indie God. It's like, thanks for doing your homework there, Book.
Yeah.
Read the notes. Get the chicken tendies, Book. Yep. All right. So Josh Briggs versus Matt Cardona. Briggs is bullying him right away here. We get a go away Briggs chant from the PC. They really do not like Josh Briggs down here at the PC. Briggs mocks the woo, 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 you know it, and then continues to beat down on Ryder here, or Cardona. When we come back from break, there's 2 boots to the head from Briggs, but then Cardona comes back with the reboot and then the unpretty her. Shout out Chelsea Green here. Briggs kicks out of it, though. There's then a choke slam, but Cardona kicks out of that. He hits the radio silence, the Rough Rider, but Briggs kicks out of it. He then goes for a second on Pretty Her, but then he slips out of that, runs the ropes really fast, and Briggs hits what I could only describe as a test-like big boot to the face.
Huge.
Yeah, the running big boot. Always used to give this test big boot to my creator wrestler. And 1, 2, 3, Briggs boots his way and beats the complete Matt Cardona for the win here.
First of all, you were right. It was the Hype Bros in NXT. Their last match against Blake and Murphy, by the looks of it.
Whoa.
Remember those two?
Don't ever question me on my
their
Hype
last
Bros.
match was against DIY on
Wow.
the 9th of June, 2016.
I used to be a broski, bro. You don't know.
Yeah, I guess
I know
that's
my-
when, makes sense. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty fun match. I was cool seeing Cardona in a WWE ring again. And I think this made for like pretty good heat from this crowd, who I think they were pretty pumped to see him back in WWE. And also Josh Briggs is generating a lot of heat at the moment. So it made it a really loud crowd throughout this. And I thought both worked well. I was happy with the booking. I was pleased to see Briggs get this win because I think they should be pushing him as a bigger guy in NXT. So yeah, I had some fun with this. It was hard hitting. There were some big moves. Thought both looked good. I liked it.
Yeah, like Cardona's at a weird stage. It's like he's kind of done a lot of stuff. I don't know what else. If he wants to be on WWE TV, he's kind of been vocal of like, hey, they've never really called me. But I think he's still like a solid wrestler and a character to have on TV. Like people seem to remember the stuff, the boot, the everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I feel like he's fine to have on. He'd be fine on main roster. He'd probably be okay. But
Yeah, I don't. What would you use him for?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like as much as like he has a likability and like Reddy's funny and he's a decent worker, that there's so many like wrestling has kind of evolved from his generation where like now guys are so like in ring, you know, are leagues above him. Maybe that might be the thing.
I just get the feeling as well. Like I think he's done fantastic on the indies, but
Of course.
I feel that feels like it is coming to an end now. That sort of run.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you just get that feeling with Jericho, you know, that he's not going to be back in AEW because what is there else to do apart from go home to WWE at this point? And that's what I feel a bit with Cardona, but I just don't see really where he fits into anything.
It's funny you say that because today Jericho posts the next Jericho cruise.
Yeah. No
Next-
AEW talent, right?
Next November. So a year from now, like over a year from now. And there is no AEW ties to this, which is definitely signaling something. So Royal Rumble, break the walls down. Am I right?
Yes, you got
But yeah.
Jeff Hardy, Saraya, the Great Muta, Elena Black, Shotzi Blackheart, and the $1 Million Man. Downstate are in it? Yeah. Right. Nick Nemeth. Yeah, it's more like TNA and stuff. Interesting.
Maybe he goes to TNA.
Who?
He's never been TNA champion.
Jericho? True.
Oh, hey, TNA. Who better? Okay, walk with me. Who better to take the title off Santana than Chris Jericho, the leader of his old group, right? It's all full circle. There we go. You know, Jericho saw that pop at Crown Jewel. He was like, oh, wait a second. Yeah. Dare I say, Jericho, TNA championship. He's never won it. Maybe he wants to.
What would that be? The Dici, right?
The Dici.
Dici?
Rapper?
No,
Dolce?
the 10.
Dos.
Well, he was the Ocho, and then the Nove, right?
The Nueve?
Yeah.
Right. So what's 10?
I just told you.
Oh, sorry.
And you call me a rapper.
Not the worst thing I've called you. Yeah, there you go. I don't know how we got to Jericho talk, but Jericho for TNA champion, and I'm so sorry for putting that voodoo out there in the world. It's probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen.
I was thinking of Italian, I think.
Yeah, what were you on about?
I was Italian right then.
You were Italian?
I was Italian. I had pasta for dinner, yeah.
I was Italian. Anyways, Josh Briggs needs to get rid of the smoking skull. There we go. That's I think Josh Briggs should be someone they feature on NXT. Yeah. He is good at wrestling. He is big. He is a good wrestler. Like, and he's getting boos. So like, hey, something's working. And
yeah,
I actually like his wrestling a whole lot. But my one critique is that damn vest with the skull.
I see a Saints and Briggs feud down the line for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. We go backstage. Hank and Tank and Chase U are talking, and they're discussing about how the tag division stinks and how they need new number one contenders for the tag titles. And Lyra Valkyria is just there, by the way, just hanging out with these two tag teams in a Tatum Paxley shirt. Available now. Looks very nice. This is when they're discussing like, oh, what should we do here? When the Culling walk in and Izzy says that the Culling has the answers that you seek. They should be the number one contenders for the tag titles. And Hank and Tank look at each other. They look at Chase U and they say, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, we're going to go talk to Ava and get ourselves an old school tag team triple threat ski. And we'll have that match tonight. And then when they walk off, it's Lyra who looks at Sean Spears and goes, you're a spooky man. And then walks off. She's not wrong. We've called him spooky many times. So
yes. Lyra is a bit like, you know, when that guy, like you leave school and then keep going back to school, that person, right? Like what?
You graduated.
Like, yeah, exactly.
They just got good like gym equipment.
And they're just doing the same story with Tatum now with Bailey on the main roster, and now she's doing it with Tatum at the same time.
Okay, well maybe she's coming to see her friends. She's coming to see Tatum.
Yeah, she's coming to support Tatum.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
so go Tatum. But yes, triple threat tag match later tonight from these three teams. Nice. We get a new video for Fatal Influence, and they straight up just say, "Hey, the biggest problem we had was that witch Jasmine Nix." And then it shows the clip of her laying there dead, and it says, only the strong survive. And then it just cuts to Lainey Reed, who's got her hair done, nails done, everything did, looking real fatal in this influence. And they say, Lainey Reed, welcome to Fatal Influence. This was pretty much like your favorite. Okay, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is like your favorite character in a series being recast.
This reference will go over your head, but the Sugar Babes.
The Sugar Babes.
They were a British girl group, and at one point, so there was the original three, right, and then each one gradually got replaced. So it ended up being three completely different people. And then the Sugar Babes eventually got back together, like the original three, but they didn't own the rights to the Sugar Babes, so they were just like a new group. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, this felt a bit like the Sugar Babes. Like suddenly you're like, wait, wasn't it a different white girl last week? But
I watched the Beach Boys documentary, and it's kind of like that in the Beach Boys, where they're like, hey, we're just gonna start getting other people to be in those things. But yeah, this is weird though. WWE don't usually like to reference by name Jasmine, like they say Jasmine Nick.
They do it. They showed her, like it is weird because they've. I mean, it's good. We've been criticizing them in the past for not doing that, so I'm glad they are now. But
it's just
maybe
funny,
they just really want to re-sign her, and they're like, "Look, we're still keeping you.
We could still bring you back."
Yeah.
Like if I was Jasmine Nix, I'd bring her back with Mandy Rose, just to fuck with JC Jane.
Yeah,
that would be pretty good. I just find it funny that it literally is Lainey Reed, welcome to Fatal Influence, and she's sitting on the couch. She's got her hair done, her makeup more on, and like her gimmick before was like a small town girl, horse girl gimmick, and now she's just in Fatal Influence. But all right,
I mean, we knew this was coming, so now it's official. So yeah,
we go to our next match: the AAA Latin American Champion El Hijo El Dr. Wagner Jr. versus El Hijo del Brian Pillman Jr. Lexis King versus Wagner Jr. here.
Just El Hijo de Brian Pillman.
Yeah, no junior there.
No junior. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Booker T was told that this was like, I think Booker T for a hot minute thought this just was Dr. Wagner.
Yeah.
Because he's like, yo, this guy, historic career in the world of Lucha Libre. And I'm like, wait a second. Booker. Wait a second, dude.
I mean, even Dr. Wagner Jr.'s had a historic career. But this is just the grandkid who's been around.
I think Booker got confused. I could have got confused, but I was laughing because I'm pretty sure he got confused. Anyways, there was some fast counters back and forth here from the Latin American champion. There's like roll-up attempts. King is trying his fast pace of some wrestling holds as well, but eventually runs into a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker and then a moonsault to the outside from Wagner. And we come back from break. King dumps him onto the outside, throws him into the steps, and starts to work the leg of Wagner. This is when Booker T is asking Vic Joseph if he would like to buy a 1970s Chevelle car. And Vic's like, no. And then he's like, see, that's what you're being a car salesman or something. And Vic and myself personally didn't quite understand what he was getting at. And then Booker, I think, gave up. But something along the lines
Booker was calling him gullible. He
like, you could sell anything.
No, he was calling Vic gullible because he was saying like
you'll buy this car?
Yeah, I've got a secondhand car that totally isn't shit that you should buy off me, is what he was saying. It
was a weird, like, Vic was just like, okay, Book. Yeah, thank you. And Wagner selling the leg here. Eventually, we get him coming back, though. He hits a tiger bomb for a 2 count. I thought that was nice. King starts to attack the knee again. He goes up. This was weird. He goes for a swanton. Wagner's already stood up. And then King goes for the swanton. No water in the pool. Even though the guy was completely stood up already. He eats the Shining Wizard and then a Michinoku driver, the Wagner driver for the 1-2-3. The AAA Latin American champion wins the match here. And there is some more after, but cool little like snippet to see some of what this guy is capable of. We have watched him before. He is pretty fantastic. And Lexis King, he's someone that we're like, he's picked up some wrestling, but they're still just like, he's Lexis King. But for what it was all right.
Yeah, I thought it was just okay. Lexis King just doesn't do it for me really in ring. I don't really see where they go with him in WWE either, because I don't think he's progressing that much in the ring. I still find him kind of dull. I thought that the submission on the knee looked so weak as well, like so loosely locked in. This didn't do too much for me personally. Yeah,
I think it's just to continue this story is where we go to. Wagner grabs a microphone. He calls out Ethan Page. He comes out wearing a nice, very red suit. Happy late Thanksgiving, Ethan Page. He says, let me tell you something, muchacho. He then tells him that there's no way you could take away my North American championship. But he says, there's no way I even want to get in the ring with you. I don't want to fight you. And Wagner says, well, don't worry. I've already talked to Ava, and it will be Ethan Page versus El Hijo El Dr. Wagner Jr. at Halloween Havoc in a Day of the Dead match.
Ooh.
And he says, anything goes. So, yes, it is official. Halloween Havoc, Day of the Dead match. I love that.
I thought he said Game of the Dead match, but
Day of the Dead match?
Game, G-A-M-E.
Game of
the
Dead match. Okay.
So yeah, anything goes. I felt this exchange was a little awkward. I think maybe, obviously, English is not El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr.'s first language, and I think Ethan Page had kind of said everything he was meant to say, and he just Dr. Wagner didn't jump in when he's what was meant to, and then Page kind of kept going, and he kind of fluffed, which you don't normally hear from him too much, and I found the exchange a little awkward between the two, but I get it with the language barrier and stuff.
It's also a tape show, so like,
yeah,
maybe that makes it harder. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, this match is official. That should be pretty good considering. Like, I don't know what a Day of the Dead match is, but I know what Day of the Dead is. I've seen Coco, big fan.
I'm guessing we'll have a kendo stick and a trash can. Is my assumption
with face paint.
Yeah.
Pumpkins, maybe.
Sure.
Right?
We need a spin the wheel, make a deal.
Spin the wheel, make a wheel.
Wouldn't this be that? Yeah.
That could have been it, but any of those things would have ended up being an anything goes match anyways.
Right. True.
Right. So
yeah,
I guess this just gets right to the point. But maybe we'll see some. We can't even see cool face paint because he wears a mask, but maybe we'll see a cool mask.
True.
Day of the Dead from him. But I think that's all right. I like Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Big fan. We go to Zaruka backstage, Sol Ruka and ZARIA, and Sol is getting ready, and ZARIA has a match against Blake coming up. And ZARIA says, hey, are you going to be there with me for my match? And she says, no, I'm getting ready for the Battle Royal. ZARIA's like, wait, how many titles do you need? Having both the North American and Speed title right here. And she's like, oh, come on, don't worry. Like, these titles aren't anything. These are shit. Let me go for the real one. And she says, don't worry, I'll actually be out there for you. I have your back. But there's kind of some bickering here between ZARIA and Sol. So you're telling me ZARIA realized that she didn't get booked in this Battle Royal, but Sol did?
Yeah, but like Alicia Fox is in it and like all these other people. How did ZARIA not get into this Battle Royal?
There's people in this Battle Royal I don't even know.
Yeah.
But ZARIA couldn't get in.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but
Allie
Ava,
Armstrong and all of them are in it. But
we got to check on Ava. I feel like maybe Ava's not the best to run this ship.
Yeah.
Anyways, Leon and Evans again backstage, and they're talking with Ava, and this is when Santino show up, and they're kind of talking about Bound for Glory, and this is when Stax and Ariana Grace show up, and she whispers something into her father's ear, and then he goes, so Ava, what if my future son-in-law could get a match for that title? And Ava says, sure, on NXT next week, X Division title, Leon Slater versus Stax.
Yeah, I'm kind of up for that. We haven't seen Stax wrestle for a while, and he's like, I'd be interested checking his bio. Is he still the Heritage Cup champion? Because there's no mention of that whatsoever. Wow. He's not been carrying it around, but he is the champion, right?
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, so but I'm looking forward to this. I think Leon Slater's spectacular, and this should be pretty fun.
Yes, I like Stax, so maybe this could be good. But it's just funny how we got there. But yeah, X Division Championship match next week. We go. Oh, as this was happening, sorry, this segment. They're like, okay, cool, yeah, this is what's going to happen next week. Stax and Leon Slater, when classic NXT WWE TV, we hear random pipes falling on the ground, just poles falling. Ding, ding, ding. Someone's hurt, and we see Trick Williams standing tall over Ricky Saints, who's covered in pipes. There's just always pipes.
Actually, he wasn't. Like, I was looking for the pipes, and I was like, why did I hear so many pipes? And he's just lying in the middle of the floor. No pipes. No, I was expecting to see pipes and couldn't see any. Okay,
so Trick is like, I told you, dog, on my time. So, yeah, I thought this was pretty. This is so wrestling. Literally pipe sound effect. Ding, 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 and then it's like, oh no, these attack, and then the camera cuts. It's like, how many of these a night can we get away with on a tape show?
They tried about 3 on this show. Yeah.
Holy, I think this is one of the biggest tropes of like, oh no, someone's been attacked.
Yeah.
We could move on.
Oh, they love it. They
so love it. I don't understand why. It's so goofy. It's so hokey that I'm like, come on. Anyways, it's wrestling. So we go to our next match. Blake Monroe taking on ZARIA. ZARIA keeps blocking all of Blake's attempts to attack her. Eventually, she gets her into the corner, and she does this giant choke in the corner, which I thought was pretty impressive here. Very Samoa Joe-esque from ZARIA. Booker T is going off on commentary and said, because he's like, I don't understand what's going on with ZARIA and Sol. So Vic asks Book, would you ever fight Stevie Ray if you were like world champion and he wanted a match? And he's like, oh, and he kind of like doesn't want to answer the question there. Blake beats down on ZARIA and then sends her into the pole on the outside. No pole sound effects on this one. As we come back from break now, Blake has ZARIA in a sleeper in the middle of the ring. Eventually, she fights out of it with like a backpack stunner type move. ZARIA runs the ropes and hits a huge spear, but can't capitalize right away. Eventually, Blake goes out of the ring to grab a chair when Sol Ruca comes out, takes it away from Blake, which allows the referee to be distracted. We see Blake go into her hair, pull out her hair pick, a comb, something like that, and rams it into the throat of ZARIA. The ref doesn't see it. She hits her DDT onto ZARIA for the 1, 2, 3, but assist from distraction and hair pick.
Yeah, this finish was fucking ridiculous. She, like, I know there's weapons in wrestling, but there's certain things that I like, you know, the screwdriver and the scissors to the head. That's how you kill someone. That's how you bludgeon that's how you kill zombies, right? It's the screwdrivers to the head.
Yeah.
This hairpin, like it was like a forked hairpin, right?
It's
so
like
it had like 4 or 5 pins in.
Pronged thing, yeah.
She stabs her in the fucking throat. She should be bleeding out everywhere.
Jesus.
And the thing was,
murder.
She had her up for the F5. I thought this would have been really smart if she used it to like rake the eyes of her, and then win. But instead, she stabs her in the throat. She attempts murder, and then like 2 seconds later, Zaria's like, "Oh, doctor said I'll be all right."
Jumping ahead,
she just stabbed you in the fucking jugular, and
they put makeup on her throat later too. Like she's got this like red mark on her. I would imagine this isn't real, it's so funny.
I found this so ridiculous. Like I need a little bit of believability in my weapons. I always thought the same about the sledgehammer as well. It's like, okay, no, that's how you kill someone. Yeah, knocking someone, a knockout blow, like knuckle dusters, whatever, cool. But like stabbing people and
would you rather them use a flamethrower?
Yeah, it won't kill you right away, will it? It's just gonna burn you. But anything that promotes,
okay, at least it's like creative.
You're
tired of kendo sticks. Here we go.
Yes, no, I love the idea for a weapon, but I think it would have been smarter to just like rake her eyes with it to get the win. Other than that, I thought the match was fine. I didn't think it got going too much for the finish, but I thought it was okay between the two. It didn't really blow me away. I'm still a little just undecided with ZARIA. We haven't seen her actually in too many singles matches, and I think there is definitely her like power stuff's impressive, and I keep on going back to when she first came in and was just throwing people around and F5ing people. She looked great, but this was a bit more 50-50, and she just looked a bit more ordinary. Like her power didn't seem particularly impressive in this one, and I'm still on the fence about her for sure.
I think if you were pushing her like Goldberg or something, like it would totally work. Like she's giant, she's got these crazy big moves. I think she's pretty good, but I'm not enough to like see quite yet. But I am holding out for that big Zaruka implodes feud. But word to the hair pick. We get a insert video from Ava, who says, "Hey, with how successful the Speed Women's Tournament was, we're bringing back the Speed Men's title, and we're bringing it to NXT. So in the next few weeks, there's going to be the Men's Speed Tournament, and we're going to have people such as Axiom, Sean Legacy, Zachary Wentz, and Jasper Troy."
I was salivating to start with. Like we're getting what, Axiom versus is it Axiom versus Wentz? No, it's
Legacy.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds great. Like Sean Legacy's been great when he's been on NXT so far, and Axiom's fantastic. That sounds awesome. And then we got Zachary Wentz. I'm like, nice, love Wentz. Like that would be great to see him back in NXT against Jasper Troy. You're like, oh. Okay.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to look at this tournament bracket. I swear they put up the bracket, but now I can't remember what it was. But yeah, Jasper Troy's the one like not fast guy in this mix. It's like oh, you're in this one. Okay. The winner of this tournament faces Grande Americano, I imagine, at Halloween Havoc, I think. So kind of weird, but or on NXT TV, I'm not sure.
Who do you think
Jasper Troy.
Unfortunately, I think Jasper Troy is going through, isn't he? And I mean, Wentz versus Axiom sounds great. Like that's the match I'd want to see,
but it's like 3 minutes long.
It's probably Axiom and Jasper Troy in the final.
Wow. That's weird. I wasn't the biggest fan of this thing coming back to NXT with the women's tournament. It's cool to see these wrestlers. I like all these guys and Jasper Troy, but yeah.
He doesn't scream speed, does he? Like
no. He's got chains though.
Yeah.
Can't have speed without chains. We go to our triple threat number one contenders tag team title match. It is Hank and Tank versus the Culling versus Chase U and Davie. The truth will ultimately prevail, but there is pain bringing it to life. Here
Absolutely.
We go to.
I say it every week, but it's hardly.
I say it every day.
It's hardly if you smell, is it?
You're saying it's not a good wrestling catchphrase?
It's absolutely up there with the glass shattering, with the static, with if you smell, with Kane's pyro, with the gong, and what is it? Pain will ultimately bring you life, but together we can set you free.
Is it better or worse than I'm awesome?
It's worse. I'm awesome. You can fit onto a t-shirt. You know?
Right. I would buy a shirt if they sold it that said this.
Yeah.
The truth will ultimately prevail, but there's pain bringing it to life. Three groups here, 3 tag teams, which means in NXT they have 3 people in the ring at a time. Right away, everyone's trying to hit roll-ups. It's pretty frantic here, I gotta say. They were really doing some crazy stuff in the beginning of this match. Eventually, it all kind of breaks down. Bossman slam from Hank for a near fall. They hit the honk honk. They run around and sandwich 2 of the Culling guys, but then Chase U hit like simultaneous tope suicidas, which looked pretty cool here as well. So Chase U are getting the upper hand here. Booker T, of course, burying Chase U, and Vic asks him, Book, do you think back in the university in video class that Chase U probably watch Harlem Heat matches? And Booker T gets furious. He goes, I doubt that. I really doubt that. I don't think so. I know what you're trying to say, but no, because if they did, then they'd actually win matches.
He was like, no, they're shit. Of course they've not been studying my matches because these guys are shit.
They'd be good.
They'd be good if
they watched Harlem Heat matches. Are you kidding me? Yeah, Booker T really got offended, but I doubt that was a great line from him. We get this crazy combo where Hank and Tank drop the other 2 guys, and then there's double splashes combo from Chase U, Uriah Connors, and Cale Dixon. Pretty impressive with some of the fast stuff they can do. This is when, though, I guess we didn't get enough of this at the TNA pay-per-view on Sunday night, but a non-finish because, hey, look, OTM show up and they attack all the people in this match. Therefore, the match is thrown out. And they beat up everyone. A nice looking Alabama Slam combo on Tank there.
Yeah.
But out the mud, Bronco Nima and
Lucian Price.
And they look at the camera and they say, we out the mud.
We
they're back.
Out the mud. Yes.
They are, in fact, out the mud, and they're back on NXT TV. But, yeah, maybe I just watched many non-finishes this week. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I was kind of into the match. I thought it was moving at a really nice pace. And I thought, I've been kind of impressed with what I've seen with Nico in the small parts we've seen. He's really explosive and for a big guy. And I thought there was some cool stuff with him, and Hank and Tank are always fun. And then just, another one of these DQ finishes, another attack on this show, another attack angle. Job Knobley in the chat saying triple threat match. It's a no DQ, right? And I guess it was more like a no contest because they attacked everyone, but I didn't like how the bells rang immediately because it is no DQ, a triple threat match. So yeah, the finish was annoying, and I can't say I'm particularly I'm not an OTM fan. The crowd seemed into them, to be fair. Like they were chanting along and stuff, but I haven't seen much to be impressed by those guys. So hopefully they've picked up some stuff on the time they've been away, but I'm still not particularly excited about this tag division.
No, it stinks. Yeah, like I hope that these guys have improved since we've seen them. I can't remember. Was it injury that's kept these guys away for a while? But like they were just kind of there. Like they're pretty green. Like I don't know. I'm hoping for the best. Maybe they could rehab this and turn it into something pretty good. That's my positive thinking here. And I'm assuming we're going to go to a 4-way match now between these 4 teams to get the next contenders.
Well,
and
they
I
set
don't
up for next week, right? They've announced it's
right.
OTM versus Hank and Tank, I think, next week.
Like, is it Hank and Tank or OTM versus the Hardys? I really don't want to watch the the Hardys only have many more.
We're getting. They've announced it's Halloween Havoc. It's Dark State versus the Hardys.
Right. But like, if the Hardys retain, which you're thinking that they don't even retain anyway.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. I'd rather see the Hardys if you still have them in this capacity. Like Fraxium, we had that match, but like, I don't know, is there any other teams that we could just bring down to do these matches while we could do these matches? You know, like NXT did the live shows last week, right? I don't know if we talked about that, but they did a bunch of live shows in the last few weeks in some different cities. DIY were working these shows because they were like promoting them for tickets. Like, hey, they were trying to bump some ticket sales. I'm assuming they didn't do too well. Prices weren't that great. Also, it's just NXT and whatever.
The Hardys' contracts with TNA are set to expire in next month in TNA, so November 2025.
No.
So I don't necessarily think you need to be having people coming down to NXT to face the Hardys. I'm pretty sure you'll be seeing the Hardys back on a Raw or a SmackDown.
Like, do one. How many times have we heard? Do one last run, with the Hardys, but this time do it with what DIY.
Why not? Like at this point, like I'm not the biggest Hardy fans in 2025, but at this point, especially the Raw tag division is essentially non-existent. Have them come in, have them feud with Judgment Day and the New Day and stuff like that, and it would. I was saying earlier, like, I don't know what you do with Matt Cardona on Raw or SmackDown. Hardys, there is stuff. It can revitalize the tag division a bit. And there are those dream matches. Everyone wants to face the Hardys. So whatever combination you do, Street Profits Hardys or New Day Hardys and all of that sounds good.
No, like there's so many that you could do that would definitely have some draw, some attention to, and do it while you still can. That they're still wrestling, still walking, still clean, I guess. I don't know. I feel like do it while you could, right? And see if that were to work. I want Jeff versus CM Punk one more time. Jeff needs to get his revenge on CM Punk. But the tag team division here is so sad. And if the Hardys were to leave TNA, I feel like they've been the real like carriers of that company right now. That would be a little bit of a hit from them, but guess we'll see. We go to Sol, Ruka, and ZARIA. ZARIA coming out of the training room, as you mentioned earlier. She got stabbed in the fucking throat by a hair pick.
Just a flesh wound.
She's like, my windpipe. And Sol is like, and like I said, she's got this like red mark on her throat. Like, if it was real, there would be 4 holes in her throat there, and she'd be breathing out. Sol is like, I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. And I said I'd be there for you, and I'll always be there for you. I'm so sorry. And ZARIA is like, it's okay. It's fine. And Soul says, but don't worry, we're still going to beat Charlotte and Alexa Bliss for those tag titles. And I decided I don't need any more titles because we're going to win those tag titles. I think you need a title. So I'm giving you, ZARIA, my spot in the Battle Royal tonight. Wow. So
hey, I know you just got stabbed in the neck, but do you want to face 19 other women in a Battle Royal now?
So ZARIA goes to get ready for this match. But yeah, wow. You just got stabbed viciously. Would you like to go wrestle? Do
you want to wrestle?
Yeah, right. Yeah, want to wrestle. So Zaruka, everything's fine.
Yes.
For right now.
Everything's fine.
We see Ricky Saints walking backstage. Some great stuff here. Where is he? Where's Trick Williams? He's fired up because he got attacked and beat up with pipes and poles. Ava's chasing him like, Ricky, please calm down. He left. He's not here. And he's like, yeah, well, I offered him a match and instead he acts like a punk bitch. And she says, well, don't worry. Next week, contract signing, but just keep it together until then. And he's like, all right, I'll do that for you. But I didn't like this. It's just playing off that classic trope. And here he is acting all angry. And
I think they all just felt so taped as well. Like if this wasn't a taped show, we'd be having something a bit more authentic. But yeah,
probably. Yeah.
So what, contract signing? Great.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we go to our main event here tonight. I guess we start seeing entrances, but of course they go to commercial and we come back. But when we come back, oh no, there's been an attack backstage. Literally a copy paste of what we saw earlier.
Another one.
The pipes are all laid out. And we see the
again. There wasn't. There was the sound of pipes, and then there was a broom on the floor. Why is there a broom there?
Why is there always pipes? I'm not not like jazz pipes, not like wind pipes. I'm talking about like pipes, sound effects of ding ding ding. I felt like I was taking crazy pills here. I was like, I swear they did this already on this show.
Yeah, sorry, who got attacked here? Like it's
the Hardy Boys got attacked.
The Hardys got attacked this time,
we don't see the attack again. You just see them laid out and Dark State standing over, and they're like, "What's up?" And they say nobody's safe, and we'll see you at Halloween Havoc. So they run off, and the Hardys getting attacked. So I assume we get the 4-on-4 with Javon and Leon Slater versus Dark State. But
yeah, ahead of how leading into Halloween Havoc.
I
mean, they haven't announced it for next week, but maybe after Halloween Havoc we'll get that.
Like you literally did the same angle earlier. I'm just like, come on. There was no other creative. Like in the same place, same place.
And the problem is, like, really in NXT right now, like, who are the interesting heels? Trick? Is that it?
In TNA, you mean?
No, in NXT.
Oh, right.
Like
Trick.
What heels are interesting right now? No, the calling is just like very generic culty stuff. We got Dark State. It's all so generic and it's also just wrestling tropey. Like none of these people have like real personalities or really get. I mean, Lexis King, I guess, at least I think his heel work is fine. It's wrestling that sucks, but yeah, like no one's particularly interesting.
Yeah, no, the roster isn't as deep as it kind of once was. It still is pretty shallow. Well, the Hardys are attacked. We're getting Dark State versus them at Halloween Havoc. I kind of hope they don't win those titles back so that we can go to Leon and Javon, but that's just me fantasy booking. But now you've told me the Hardy Boys. Look, they don't need you telling me the Hardy Boys might leave TNA is so funny. Like, would they do another comeback to WWE? They probably would.
Of course they would.
And I'll just
like this is the test, right? Like this is as I feel the same with Cardona. It's like, let's have another look at you. Like, let's get you back in the system a little bit. And is everything good? Jeff, are you gonna drink and drive again? Are you good, man? Like let's see how you are.
Yeah, I guess. And if they leave TNA, that's a big hole for Chris Jericho to fill in TNA.
Hardys aren't Hall of Fame yet either, are they? So
they offered Jeff, and he's like, not without Matt. So
exactly, and that was around the time he walked out and stuff, right? So I could totally see them coming back into WWE and doing a Hall of Fame, maybe even next year being Hall of Fame.
I'm down. Do it. Fuck it. Put him in the Hall of Fame. They should have been in the Hall of Fame. The Dudleys are in, right?
Yes.
The Hardys should definitely. Edge is in. Is Christian in? I don't think so.
Christian isn't. Edge is, yeah.
Yeah. So all of them will be in one day. That match will be in one day. Just TLC 2. Come on. But we go to our main event. 20-woman Battle Royal #1 contenders match for the NXT Championship match. Now, this is where they're testing my brain power, because I have the same wrestlers that I've watched in NXT come out in this match. However, they all have different names now, and I have to guess which one is which. But this was a little difficult. Like Alicia Fox, I don't know if I tried catching her name.
Victoria Crawford.
Right.
All right. Test me. I'm not looking. Like, test me. Okay.
Okay. I was going to say, please don't test me. So let's test you. Okay. Here we go. Xia Li.
Yaying Lee.
Okay. The Iconics.
The Inspiration, Jessie McKay, and Cassie Lee.
Whoa. Holy shit. Okay. Fuck, who else is in this match? I think that might be it. Xia Brookside.
She's also Xia Brookside, yes.
See, I was
sorry, what were they? The Angel Warriors? That's new to me.
Yeah, see, I didn't know about that.
We also had the Mara Sade, the smooth operator herself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. How could I forget Sade?
Yeah.
Sade. Yeah, it was very confusing, actually. Because like I couldn't figure out some of these people, and I was like, wait, who is this now? Like, I know who you are, but
that's something funny I found with the Dudleys Hardys match. It was the Hardys versus Team 3D, because TNA don't own the Dudley Boys name, yet they're wearing their actual like WWE Dudley Boys shirt. It says Dudley Boys, it says welcome to Dudleyville and all that. Yeah,
true, with the licensing and all that stuff, but great. Well, this battle royal starts off with all of them in the ring to begin with. Again, there was 20 people. I'm trying to find the exact list. I was trying to write down everything that happened, but obviously a battle royal, a lot was happening in this thing. We start with, I noticed Carmen, I was going to say Carmen Electra. She was not in this battle royal, but Carmen Petrovic is one of the first ones to get eliminated in this match. We see Ren Sinclair. Oh, remember Ren?
Yeah.
Remember Ren? She goes to do some sort of Kofi Kingston style spot, like swinging around the pole, but falls, and the Iconics laugh at her.
Yeah, more like Kofi Kingston the last couple of years, right?
That's just mean. But yeah, I think this was a planned spot, though. I don't think.
Do you?
Yeah, I think she was meant to do that.
I wasn't sure,
because the way the
like
Iconics were like when she was like, they were like right there, like completely laughing at her. I think the gimmick is like she's had a bit of a rut, right, since losing Charlie. Like the group is falling apart, so I think it's part of the storyline. But
yes,
that's just me. We see what is it? Kendall Gray in. She was pretty impressive. She was throwing people around here early on. Eventually, Sade or Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend, and Jakara or Sade again have a bit of a meta moment here where Lash saves her, but then ZARIA drop kicks Lash into her, eliminating her. But sad moment, and a nice moment there, a reunion of sorts. Eventually, Lash Legend also puts the boot to Jada Parker's face, which sends her out, which is a pretty big elimination. This is when Jada's upset. Now, I couldn't tell who is she beating up here ringside, but she starts freaking out and starts beating down on someone who was thrown out. And this is when like all this, like these referees and jobber cops come out and they're like trying to pull her apart, which was set up for Lash then getting thrown out by everyone on top of her here. There's like a big spot where everyone gets taken out, but that was pretty cool. Eventually, Heather Reckless from TNA, she's in there. She's beating some people up, but then she gets thrown out. Callie Armstrong, she's the Evolve, right?
Callie Armstrong,
now.
yes, the Evolve Women's Champion, yeah.
So she's in there. She's doing some suplexes, but then Callie and Thea are kind of tussling when Izzy Dame eliminates both of them. We see ZARIA in the match because she got Soul Spot. She's hauling ass. She's beating people. When Blake Monroe comes out, Sol Ruka's ringside. She attacks Sol Ruka. So Sol is like, ZARIA is like, I don't know what to do. So leaves the match, eliminating herself. God. Giving away Soul's spot to go check on Soul. Could you imagine if this was us? I would never do that. I love you, but wouldn't you be mad at me?
No, you know what I do? I climb under the second rope and help you out. Like, why break Carly myself? Why go over the top rope it was so stupid. Like, just such a, like, it would have been different if she was like, knocked onto the apron and she was going to come back in and then saw this happened and was like, I'll go for it. But she just climbed over the top rope to help her friend. It was so stupid.
I hope, like, I'm the one who's been saying I think Soul is the heel in this thing, and now I think it's becoming a bit more apparent, but I think Soul is going to be angry at her. Like, dude, I gave you your spot and you just left the match. Yeah, you wasted it. Why did you leave the match? Which is kind of fair, but she's her friend. She's checking on her, but the Soul and Blake feud continues because that's the match at is that announced for Halloween Havoc? Not yet, but I imagine that will be added as well. But the match continues here. We see Cassie Lee from The Inspiration throws out Lola Vice. We then see Kendall Gray throwing her out. Kalani's in here. She tries to throw Grace. They start having a bit of a moment in a battle. Kalani gets thrown out, but then lands on her hands and does a handstand, walking around. Very Kofi Kingston spot here, where she eventually gets her feet under the ropes to then lift herself back up. And in my moment of this show, Jordan Grace, with one of the best eliminations I've seen in a Battle Royal or Royal Rumble in a long time, just fucking stomps on Kalani, crushing her to the
head made, just like crunching on the floor.
So good. That was great.
This sequence was great. I think even before walking on her hands, I've got like the picture up now. It was the kind of sunset flip Kalani did, but using the legs, pushing down, and Jordan Grace being so strong, like holding back on. I thought this whole sequence was great. I'm liking this feud they're doing. It's been going back a couple of weeks now, and they're both technically baby faces, but they're both vying for the same position and both pissing each other off. And I think when this match comes, it'll be really good for Jordan Grace, because I think she's had a stinker of a feud with Blake Monroe, and this is a move into the right direction.
But yeah, like, you gotta search. If you didn't watch and you just listened, like, at least search on social media. Like, she's upside down on her hands, walking around, and then gets back to the ringside, and then puts her feet to like lift herself back up, but then while doing it gets stomped. It's so
stomps
good.
In the chest and
just like I laughed out loud, but also you're like, like you crushed her there. So I'm looking forward to that match when we go to that, I think. So the match continues now, and like I said, she eliminates Kalani, so Grace stays in. We're down to our final four at this point. We have Jordan Grace, Izzy Dame, Tatum Paxley, and Kendall Gray. We have the Culling working together here as they beat down on the other two. Kendall Gray comes back, though, with some really fast suplexes, impressive belly-to-belly suplexes. Kendall Gray is someone to watch, too. Like, she's so small, but she's got a crazy wrestling skill.
Oh, yeah. Really liked how they had her in this position. I always like in the Royal Rumble when the final four means something, and quite often it's, your established people, and then there's someone in there who it's like, they're not going to win it this year, but they're the future. Yeah. Like you've seen like Randy in that spot when he was younger, and you've seen like, a Bron Breakker will be in that position. Roman, before he was the guy, was in that position. And I always like that. So having Ren in the final four, having Kendall in the final four here, giving her a little bit of focus, I thought was really good. And her suplexes look great. So definitely one to watch.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Like, definitely would see something down the line with her, but those are pretty impressive. However, we see Izzy hits her with a code breaker and then throws her out of the ring. And then we have Jordan Grace and Tatum Paxley fighting on the apron here when we have Izzy run at them, kind of clotheslines them both out, but instead Tatum holds onto the rope and both Izzy and Jordan fall to the floor, meaning Tatum Paxley left alone on the apron. Tatum Paxley is the winner of the Battle Royal, and this was a very loud pop from the Performance Center here, screaming for her here. Tatum Paxley, your number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. It cuts to this guy in the crowd who's like, fuck yeah, and then goes to high five someone next to him, and they completely turn around. So then he looks to someone else and they do the same thing. And then they finally cut away to Lyra Valkyria running into the ring, celebrating with Tatum Paxley as Izzy looks on, just all upset here. But yes, Fatal Influence come out. They have a bit of a stare down, but Lyra runs past. They hug it out. Best friends for life. The Bird Lady and her Barbie doll friend. But Tatum Paxley going to Halloween Havoc in the NXT Women's Championship match. JC Jane versus Tatum. And a bit of a shock here, but well-deserved. Definitely a fun surprise and fits in with the Halloween
absolutely
kind of gimmick.
Yeah, I really like the finish with Tatum was kind of, rear choking. Who was it on the apron? Jordan, right? Yeah, like choking her out to just let Izzy just pick her off. But then the finish there, I thought was good, and it was a surprise. But I like it. I think Tatum's great. I think her ring work has really improved over the years, and she hasn't been given this big position, this big moment. And I don't see her winning the title. I see that ultimately being Jordan Grace further down the line against JC. But I like it. It gives her some focus. It feels similar to, when you put Miles Bourne or something like that into this position, where it's like, let's give you a go at this and see what happens. And I think the story with her and Izzy and bringing Lyra back has actually made her a bigger baby face. And this crowd definitely were happy to see it. So I wasn't expecting it, but I like it a lot.
I thought it was going to be Grace, actually. Yeah. So I was definitely shocked. And I think it would be even crazier if we would go with her winning from JC, but I definitely don't think that's the case. But I think everyone will be cheering for her. Everyone will be in her corner and the support and all that fun stuff. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's a refreshing match. We saw Izzy got the pay-per-view match last time, right? Against, was it Soul for the North American title? Oh no, wait, was that the
sorry, who?
We had Izzy in a PLE match before, like in the last months or so.
Yeah, was it was North American, right?
Yeah. So like now giving now giving Tatum the shot. Like, yes. I think this is pretty cool. I think we've followed her. She's been up and down. What was it? Diamond Mine?
Yeah, I mean, she's been here like it's got to be 4 or 5 years now at this point, right? So it is time to really give it a go.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think that could be a pleasant surprise of a match. It was an awesome surprise here. I don't read ahead. I didn't read any spoilers of NXT or anything. So I was pleasantly surprised with Tatum winning, Lyra coming out, hugging it out, So that is official for Halloween Havoc. But there you go. That was NXT from
2021. She started there. So wow. Yeah, 4 years.
Just think, she was Diamond Mine.
Yep.
Then she was, I don't know what else she was doing. She was Lyra's friend.
She was Gigi and Shotzi for a bit, wasn't she?
She was Gigi. Oh, right.
Yeah.
She was Lyra's friend, and then she was
friend.
Chemical X.
Yeah.
And then she was the Barbie doll lady.
Yeah.
She's been hanging out with the people, with the truth people. So, yeah. Halloween Havoc, as it stands, JC Jane versus Tatum Paxley, the Hardy Boys versus Dark State, Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams, and Ethan Page versus El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. Day of the Dead match. So 4 match announced. I imagine we get Blake versus Soul or Grace versus Kalani. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, maybe both of them. I think we've had 6 matches before, haven't we? So
yeah,
they'd be good. I quite enjoyed this Battle Royal. I think, like a lot of these, when it gets down to the final few, you get some really nice spots. I thought the stuff with Grace and Jordan was particularly good. I think for me, the fact that it was taped and I was able to watch it straight through on Netflix helped because this show kind of breezed by. I agree with you. Way too many just attack angles, just cliche angles and that kind of thing. But the building blocks to ZARIA breaking up are getting bigger now. And I thought it was all right. Halloween Havoc looks okay so far. But I wasn't doing somersaults about this show, but I didn't hate it either.
Yeah, I agree. Like NXT's in this weird spot. Like every pay-per-view cycle just kind of seems like okay, and there's not that much heat behind it. And like there's some cool stuff and some matches that I'm sure will be good, but I can't say already that this is like, whoa, oh my God, this is going to be an incredible show. It'll be a good show, I think, but NXT still isn't grabbing me in certain way, shape, or form. I didn't like this as much as I liked our invasion last week. Sorry, our showdown last week. But there was still some fun stuff, and hopefully we get some good stuff at Halloween Havoc. It is on a Saturday, October 25th, and we won't be going live right after. We will be doing a show on the Sunday. So we will be live this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, to talk all about AEW Wrestle Dream and everything else going on in the world of wrestling. So join us for a Poisonrana live this Sunday. Poison Llama. That's our next venture. Poisonrana live, 3 p.m. this Sunday. We'll talk about Wrestle Dream, but the following week we will be live at 2 to talk all about Halloween Havoc 2025. So follow us on the socials if you haven't. Keep updated of all the stuff that we do. We will be back next Tuesday as well here on Post Wrestling right after NXT to talk about what will be the go-home show, I guess, for Halloween Havoc. Only a few weeks, I guess. Right? Yeah. Spooky season. Only a few weeks to Halloween. Get your costumes, people. Get ready. Hope you're enjoying the month that is October. But we have some feedback. We have a Facebook page. You can search Poisonrana, and then find the group and join the group. There's a chat as well. It's a lot of fun. I see we have Sean McTeer who writes in. Really good episode, and Halloween Havoc is already shaping up to be a great show with several title matches already set. Special shout out to the underrated WWE MVP Lyra Valkyria for once again pulling double duty and making not one but two different unlikely partner storylines work at the same time.
And then we have Megan, who says, a perfectly decent episode that got to work on Halloween Havoc pretty well. Cardona Briggs was good, and the women's battle royal was quite good. Pretty cool to see Mara and Lash cross paths, and the finish was pretty genius with Tatum outsmarting Izzy, and Lyra coming out to celebrate with her buddy was even better. Nice to see that Leon Slater will be stopping by next week to defend the X Division title.
And then finally we go to Fire Frank, who was at Bound for Glory. I know he had a great time. Shout out, Frank. He says, the Meta Girls brief reunion was everything. Also happy for Tatum and getting to celebrate with her dove. Not bad for a taped episode as they set up several matches for Havoc efficiently. The men's speed tourney is intriguing for me. ZARIA is still fine, I think. Cardona looked super happy to be back in the NXT ring, and he had a nice showing with Briggs. There you go. I think people are looking positive for this Halloween Havoc cycle coming up. So appreciate the feedback there, Sean, Frank, Megan, and everyone listening here today, whether you were in the Post Wrestling YouTube chat or you're listening on delay. Again, search Poisonrana in your podcast app or your social media and go to patreon.com/Poisonrana. You know, last week when we ended the show, my MacBook completely died.
Oh, yeah.
My life flashed before my eyes. Thankfully, it was saved. But, you know, you ever want to support two independent podcasters, go to patreon.com.
Have you had any issues since? Is it all okay?
I found, so I was nervous because, you know, I do music and stuff too. And I didn't back up in about a month. And I had stuff, including podcast stuff and everything. I was like, oh, my God. But I found a way to connect the hard drive, even though it wouldn't start to like another Mac. And it let you connect through that. So I was able to back all my stuff up, and then I spent the next day just, I don't know. It's working. I'm live right now. I'm recording right now. So right now we're okay. But if you like our show, go to patreon.com/Poisonrana. $5 to get a month's worth of podcasts and keep the lights on. And I mean that literally.
You can also use super chats, as our friend Jake from the Windy City has done, sending us $5. Thank you very much, Jake. He says, "Hi guys, wanted to go to WrestleMania for so long, booked my hotel at the MGM, but so discouraged by tickets starting at $600+ Help a bro out. Any friendly advice?"
Don't go.
Well, there's that to start with. Go a different year. But no, I just keep looking at those prices. Look on multiple ticketing sites. Make sure they're legit sites. At the end of the day, you want to be in the building. Don't get too precious about where you're going to sit. You're there for the atmosphere and to soak that all in. So yeah, just keep monitoring them. The week of, once the set is built and stuff like that, they'll be releasing more tickets anyway, because they'll be able to see what more seats they can fit in, etc. And you'll see tickets more at a original face value. So look then, and just have a budget in mind. And when you see it hover around that budget, pull the trigger.
You know what's crazy? What made it an absolute no for Vegas? Like what was this year?
Yeah.
Was seeing people online complain about going to Vegas and how multiple hotels are now charging you to use the fridge in your room, to use certain things in your room. Like they're just money gouging in any way possible. And I think it's disgusting. And I was like, absolutely not, Vegas. You're not getting any of my money, at least for a long time. But good luck, Jake. I mean, it's worth it. If you're a wrestling fan, it's totally worth it. Going to any shows, whether it's WrestleMania, your local indie shows or whatever, support and go out. It's always fun. So hopefully,
or even if you don't go both nights, do one night, there'll be plenty of bars in Vegas showing WrestleMania, go and watch it at a bar and go to some indie shows as well. Support those products.
DDT.
Yeah,
100%.
Anything.
DDT is totally what I would be going if I was to be going, or go to Saudi next year.
Yeah, you'll probably spend less on a ticket in Saudi.
So there's our advice. But thank you, Jake, for that super chat. Thank you again for everyone listening. Poisonrana.ca for all the links that we do. We can't do it with all the postmarks. Really appreciate everyone out there. Enjoy your spooky season. We will be back. Follow the socials. That is it. That is all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And go, Jays. Go.
Ahoy!